women's boutique called Misguided Angels. We opened in September of 2010. It is, Misguided Angels is a women's boutique. We sell women's clothing, shoes, and accessories. Lots of jewelry, belts, handbags, pretty much anything you can need from head to toe.
How did you decide on this location?
It's proximity to my home and knowing that there was nothing like this within a 10-mile radius. The closest what I consider good shopping is Tyson's Corner. The other local malls and boutiques that are nearby, I just felt were either targeted at women that were older than myself or just not as fashion forward, and I was sort of bored with the selection locally. And so I figured if I feel that way, there's probably lots of other women that feel the same way. So.
And why did you not choose the mall location?
I feel that the trend has been going toward the outdoor town center shopping centers, as well as the prohibitive cost of the malls. They tend to be a lot more expensive with a lot of fees that they charge you, whereas a newer shopping center, such as the Brambleton Town Center, they're more willing to work with you than a big mall who's owned by a giant conglomerate. So they were just really willing to work with us and wanted to have us here and made it easy.
I didn't think of that. I guess smaller sometimes does give you personalized service. Have you broken even yet and or made a profit? And how long did it take you to break even?
I think we're probably not the norm, but we paid ourselves back our initial investment in about 6 months. And that is solely because we kept our startup expenses at a minimum. Other than our inventory, we were able to open the store with very minimal opening costs and build-out costs. The space was already finished. We were able to just come in with our fixtures and our merchandise and start going.
Okay. Describe your first customer.
Our first customer was somebody that had found us, liked us on Facebook, and I started a Facebook page for the store 2 or 3 months before we opened, and just through word of mouth and buzz in the community, seeing the signs up on the door that something called Misguided Angels was coming to the shopping center created enough interest that we had a couple hundred people, a couple hundred fans on our Facebook page before we opened. So just keeping posts on there and letting people know when we were opening. This person knew that we were coming and was anxiously awaiting our first day that we opened our doors, and she was there.
Now, how did you generate the interest? I'm assuming with your Facebook page, you put it on your personal page, but how did you generate interest on your Facebook page? Because a lot of people are going down that route.
Just word of mouth, I think, more than anything. People talking in the community and sharing the link with each other. It's really our business has been built on word of mouth more than anything.
Define your target customer from when you first started, which I know is a year ago, but has it changed over the year too?
It really hasn't changed. Our target customer, I would say, is women, obviously, between ages 25 and 45, I think, is the bulk of our business. Mostly moms or working moms, which is what this area tends to be populated by. And that hasn't really changed. The bulk of our business every day during the week seems to happen before 2 o'clock or 2:30, and then moms have to be home to catch the bus and get their kids off the bus. So it's really the demographic for this area, for Loudoun County, is our demographic. It's mainly the moms.
It's true, because when you said 2 or 2:30, I was like, I better make it 2, because like, I mean, they can survive now, but I was thinking that. Okay. What was the most successful action you took to bring in customers?
I think creating the Facebook page more than anything, and And I'm real big at posting things daily, especially new arrivals. When new merchandise comes in, I take pictures, I post them on our page, and it just generates a lot of interest and phone calls when I post pictures. How much is that? Can you hold one for me? And really just being able to connect with people and letting them know when we're having a sale or a special event, that the Facebook, other than word of mouth, I think, creating that Facebook page and being very active with the business on Facebook has kept our business.
Do you use Twitter?
I do. Our Facebook is linked to our Twitter.
But Facebook is more, because you got the photos and, yeah.
Yeah, to this point at least.
I find with Twitter, you get lost in the stream very easily. Not you particularly,
Yes.
but my gets lost in the stream. Somebody told me you just have to constantly tweet, and I'm like, I can't constantly.
Yeah, I just don't have time to do both. So I link
Right.
the accounts, so whatever I post on Facebook, we'll
Post on
Twitter.
Twitter.
But
Yeah.
it's so hard
Yeah.
to do everything. There's so much out there now.
Yes, and there's LinkedIn. Although I like LinkedIn for many things, it's I see it as my Rolodex.
Yeah.
So I can keep track of it. I do like LinkedIn. At first I was like, why would I want to? Anyway. How are you bringing in new customers in today's market? You know, with the economic downturn.
We're bringing in new customers.
Although you're still new, so that's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, we're still, a lot of the people that walk through our doors are still new to us, even though we've been here a little over a year. I would say 50% of the people that walk through our doors just happened by because they were here going to dinner or a movie or a doctor's appointment. So we're still getting a lot of new walk-by traffic. We are running our first ad. We haven't really paid for any advertising up till this point, but our first ad is going to come out in one of the local papers in the next week. So we'll see what that does, if that generates any traffic and what kind of traffic that generates. So it's kind of an experiment. We've also done a couple of the Groupon type deals to try and generate new business. And what we found really is that the bulk of those Groupons that were sold were to existing customers, not to new business. So don't know that we'll do those too much anymore. So it was sort of an experiment, just to live and learn.
How will you know when you have the ad out? How will you know they're coming in from the ad?
We put a little blurb on there that says, mention this ad and you'll receive, and you can take 10% off your purchase. So that's how we'll know when they come in, if they're here because of that.
Right.
If they buy anything. I guess if they come in and they don't buy anything, we won't know. But we talk to pretty much everybody that comes through the doors. Hey, how are you? What brings you by today? And once you start a conversation, people tend to just talk and tell you, oh, I saw your ad. And so we get that quite a bit from the I Am Modern article about us and then one of Virginia magazines. So people tend to tell you, yeah, I read about you here, and that's why I had to come by. I just wanted to check you out.
How did you get into the I Am Modern in Northern Virginia?
Our fans, our people on our mailing list and Facebook page, I put some links up so that to make it easy for them to find the survey, and they went online and voted for us. In both cases, they were
Oh, that's right. It's a best of November.
reader surveys.
That's right. Yes, that's a good way of getting. I just found out about I Am Modern, and it's a neat magazine.
Yeah, it's great. And they're all over they take the magazines and drop them off in all the doctor's offices and local businesses all over the county, and Fairfax County. I've seen them a lot in Fairfax County too. So
I saw it in automotive.
seriously, oh, that's funny.
Because I was getting my car fixed.
Uh-huh.
I was like, this is new. I didn't read it though, but I have read it since because I went to one of their luncheons. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, do you have any suggestions for startups?
My suggestion would be do your research, as much as you can to know exactly what you can make. If you can get people to talk to you, other small business owners to talk to you about how much revenue they're generating and really be knowledgeable about how much money you can potentially make. I think a lot of people that go into business really don't have a good idea of what kind of income, what kind of sales they can generate and may overestimate what they can make, and keep your startup costs as low as you can. I think more importantly than anything. It's so important because so many businesses spend a ton of money just building out their store and making it look beautiful, whether it's a store or a restaurant or whatever, which obviously is important, but the merchandise, what you're offering, and the customer service, I think, are by far more important than making it physically, the floor and the walls look beautiful. I mean, you can do that later, but just building a reputation, building up good word of mouth and good customer service. That's what's going to keep you going.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was not